Alright, what up, y'all? What up? I am on my way to another facility. Look, interesting story today, right? Interesting story today. We're going to talk about investing. I know I should have put my seatbelt on first. I don't know why. I usually put my seatbelt on after I pull off a little bit. It's weird. But yo, we're going to talk about investing today, okay? Now, there's probably a million channels on investing on YouTube, TikTok, whatever. You can look up investing anywhere. And the last thing I'm about to do is tell you about investing. But what I will tell you about is about a 96-year-old who taught me a lesson about investing. And the one thing about nursing homes, y'all, and I think like nursing homes in abstract, you would probably think nursing homes are like just old people who ain't got nothing to contribute, nothing to offer. Like they even say this, that they feel kind of rejected by society. I had one guy who was a cool guy back in the day. I mean, cool cat, had all the ladies. And now that he's older, he says that it doesn't even seem like people notice him. But anyway, 96-year-old. I'm working with this 96-year-old patient, right? And he had one of the smoothest walking sticks I've ever seen. I'm talking one of those custom-made walking sticks, not a cane, it's just a straight-up stick. Got a couple curves in it. And then at the top of it, it's a nice place for your hand to hold on to. Real shiny. You can tell it's custom made. He said he had a friend of his made it. But anyway, cool guy. We walking, 96-year-old. We talking. We doing a little exercise for therapy, you know. There's not much I'm going to do with a 96-year-old. You know, I'm going to walk with you. We're going to do a little easy exercise, and I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your day. One of the things I always do with older people is I talk to them about what they used to do. What type of work that they used to do, what types of hobbies were they into. And this gentleman told me, 96 years old, he told me he used to work for the phone company, right? The phone company. I said, oh, okay, what was the name of it? He said it was called Bell of Pennsylvania. I said, oh, all right, Bell of Pennsylvania. I said, I've never heard of that company. I said, are they still around? He told me, he was like, yeah, I think they're around. I think they're calling it something else. Now, I got to pause for a second. I come from Baltimore City. So when he said Bell, the name Bell rang a bell. The name Bell rang a bell. I'm like, I've heard something like that before. When I was growing up in Baltimore City, I think the name of the telephone company was called Bell Atlantic. I remember my mama used to get bills from Bell Atlantic, right? So the name Bell sound familiar. So I'm thinking, I'm like, I've heard something similar to that. But he said he worked for Bell, Pennsylvania. Now, I said, well, let me look this company up. I said, because I never heard of it. I'm going to see if they're still around. And he was like, yeah, they're calling it something else. I don't know what it is. So I look it up, and it turns out that Bell of Pennsylvania is now called Verizon. You may have heard of them, right? Yeah, everybody knows Verizon, right? But anyway, he goes on to tell me about how while he was working for the company, I don't know, 39 years, I think he said, 39 years he worked for this company. And as he worked, he was buying stock in the company. He was using his own money and purchasing shares of the company at a discount price, right? While it was called Bell of Pennsylvania. 96 years old. Now, I don't know how many shares he accumulated. I don't know how much money he accumulated. I don't know the value of his stock. But when I tell you that this 96-year-old sat down and he put his hands on his walking stick, like up on the walking stick, like you're holding a cane when you're sitting down, and there was a big old smile on his face. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, do you still have the stock? He was like, yeah, I haven't touched any of it. Any of it. 96 years old. He hasn't touched his stock. He's just been living life, living off pension and Social Security. He's been doing his thing. So I said, man, it's probably worth a lot now because that company has grown a lot since you worked for him. He was like, oh yeah. He said, it's done really good. And I'm thinking about all of the compound interest because Verizon actually pays a nice dividend. I think it's like 66 cents a share. So I'm thinking about all of the compounding that his investments have done. Let's just say his number is probably huge. Because the way he looked at me when I asked him about it, he was like, yeah, I've done pretty good. The lesson in this, here is the lesson. When it comes to investing, I know investing is new for a lot of people. It's new for a lot of people. And everyone should invest. More people need to learn about investing. However, investing, not trading, investing, which should be a long-term thing. If this young man can work for Verizon in his 20s and hold on to that stock up until his 90s, I'm not saying hold on to your investments till you're 96. I'm not saying that. But the key lesson here is hold for long term. If you are investing in good companies, if you are investing in, index funds, ETFs, whatever your investment is, you should be holding it for a long period of time. Now, just to be honest with you, I wouldn't invest in Verizon. For me, they got too much debt. But I'm sure his shares have grown exponentially since he bought them way back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, But the lesson remains. Investing should be a long-term thing. You want to hold your investments for a long period of time, and chances are you will be a very happy person, just like this 96-year-old with a shiny walking stick. All right, I'm about to hit to my next job. I'm going to holler at y'all. Y'all be cool.